The shortstop Kyoko Ishikawa will bat second. Hotaru Tsukamoto, the designated player, bats third. Eri Shimoyama, playing first base, bats fourth. We'll give you the rest after the next pitch, scheduled for right now. And it is down low for a ball. We are underway. The fifth hitter is Yui Sakamoto. The sixth hitter, Shiho Suto. 7-8-9, Ayana Karoji, Yume Kiriishi, and Urara Fujimoto. Left-hand hitter, Ayana Nakagawa, 3 out of 18 in the series. Here's the 1-0. That's ball too low. Home plate umpire Mariana Prins from the Netherlands. Renzo Ruiz of Mexico down the first baseline. The aforementioned Jose Chaparro from Puerto Rico, he's at second. Marnie Carvalho from Canada is at third. Here's the 2-0. Swing and a miss at a high rise ball, 2-1. Down the left field line, Thomas Lohnert from Germany, and down the right field line, Sabrina Fabrizi from Italy. A 6-person umpire crew for these two games today. And Kelly Maxwell, her first look at Japan. Here's the next one, swing and a miss. The question of the day is going to be, can Japan score a run?
That's going to be the question of the day, and if they do and when they do, it needs to be early on, especially with how Team USA has been hitting. But the key is going to be that drop ball from Maxwell. She uses it all the time, and so whatever Japan's game plan is going into it, maybe laying off of it because it breaks so much that it could potentially be a ball, and sitting on Maxwell's curveball, that can be their game plan, or moving up in the box and driving that drop ball before it breaks. But whatever their game plan is, they have to stick to it and get on, use their speed, and score first.
And a chopper foul. You saw that shot of Heather Tarr looking intently from the dugout steps. She was very tight-lipped. She was refusing to show her cards as to who the starting pitcher for this game would be. A lot of speculation. Megan Faremo was absolutely dominant in her complete game shutout. That was on Thursday. The USA winning that game 2-0. And time is called. 3 balls and 2 strikes on Ayana Nakagawa, and she drills that one foul. That's a hefty cut from the left-handed hitting left fielder. Nakagawa has the only home run for Japan this week, but she's only 3 out of 18, and the 3 runs batted in were all on that one swing, which was against Puerto Rico. She stands at the back of the box. The payoff is cut on and missed for strike 3. And that's how this one begins. Kelly Maxwell with a strikeout. That is for her 12th strikeout in 7 1/3 innings. And now Kyoko Ishikawa also at the very back of the box. 10 out of 16. That's the most hits in the tournament. This pitch is high and outside, 1-0. These are 2 managers, Heather Tarr and Reika Utsugi, that will pull strings. They will make changes. We've seen in the Olympics, Yukiko Ueno pitched the first 5 innings against the USA, was removed for Miyu Goto, and then came on and closed it out again in the 7th. That's the last time Japan defeated the USA, when they won the gold in 2021 in Tokyo. 1 ball and 1 strike. There's a slapper, and it's foul off to the left pass of Jessie Warren for strike 2.
Well, you're really not hiding anything. This is the last game. You're going for the title of world champion. You show all your cards and you throw everything on the line. If you have to bring in a starter, we saw that happen with Rackle in the Canada game. You have to do what you have to do to get that title and win the game.
And a swing and a miss. The bat goes flying, nearly hits Tsukamoto, the on-deck hitter, and a baffling strikeout of Kyoko Ishikawa. And Kelly Maxwell so far living up to the hype. She has struck out the first 2 with tantalizing off-speed stuff. And watch Tsukamoto dodge the bat in the on-deck circle. So now Tsukamoto, 6 out of 13. The first pitch is inside. Interesting pitching strategy. Maxwell is throwing a lot of off-speed stuff early in this game.
Well, or that drop ball again, and those are similar out of the hand, but it's dropping. We saw in that shot earlier, it's breaking right at the front of home plate, where that's the best part, because the Japanese hitter, their swing, it's going right under it. So again, keeping it low, keeping everything down, because you don't want to leave something up and hanging for the Japanese offense to drive it into the outfield.
1-1. Speaking of the outfield, Lorenz is way off the line and left. And there's a foul behind the plate. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The center fielder, McClaney, is shaded towards left center. So if anything, they're trying to plug that gap in left center field. We've seen Tsukamoto hit that way.
Well, again, you're able to shift and kind of know exactly, for the most part, where these hitters are going to hit the ball on a certain pitch, thanks to technology these days, but that's what helps them be able to be confident in those shifts.
A pop-up to short is caught by Nicole Bates for the third out of the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left. A couple of strikeouts for Kelly Maxwell. Japan does not score. USA is coming in out. This is the gold medal game of the 17th Women's Softball World Cup, live on GameTime.Sport. To the bottom of the first inning, and the lineup for USA: Nicole Bates will lead off, followed by Hannah Flippen, Jessie Warren, Deja Mulipola, the catcher, and Amanda Lawrence batting fifth. Jocelyn Alo is the designated player. Maya Brady bats seventh, Rachel Garcia bats eighth, and Haley McClenny ninth. There you see the defensive alignment for Japan, as they're going to go with Nakagawa in left field, Kuroji in center field, Fujimoto is in right. In the infield, Yui Sakamoto has played fantastic defense, as has all of Japan. They've only made 3 errors as a team, and right now Utsugi is out to discuss something, not sure exactly what, but she is going to head over to the first base side dugout. Miyu Goto is in the circle for Japan. She has appeared in 4 of Japan's 5 games. Her best outing was the first one against Australia, when she pitched 6 innings, allowing only 5 hits, but she's allowed runs in each of her last 3, including 2 against the USA. And so now Nicole Bates, 4 out of 7, runs up on strike 1. Bates has scored 4 runs, driven in 1. She's also stolen a base. Bates, a left-hand hitter, standing in the back of the box, and she taps that one to Sakamoto. A quick throw to first, a bit low, but dug out by Shimoyama, and there's one away.
Bates grounds out to third base for a first out. Rimbalzante sulla terza base per Bates.
Bates hits this right off the cap of the bat, but doing well working that outside pitch from Goto to the left side. Again, able to square it up. That's going to give her more power for her next at bat and needing to get that leadoff on. But with the lineup that USA has, Hannah Flippen coming up to bat now, incredible power, but they have to sit on that curveball, on that inside pitch from Goto if they want to get runners on and get them over and score.
Hannah Flippen now looks at a pitch outside. Yume Kiraishi trying to pull that one back in the zone. Miyu Goto was also with the national team of Japan at the 2022 World Games. She's 23 years old, born in March of 2001, and that's a very good off-speed pitch to Hannah Flippen for strike 1. In the World Games gold medal game against the USA, she pitched 2 innings and struck out 1. And ironically, there's a ground ball off the bat of Flippen under the glove of Sakamoto. It trickles into left field, and Hannah Flippen is aboard for the USA here with 1 out in the bottom of the first inning. I was going to say, Monica Abbott played in Japan and was teammates with a lot of these players, and in fact Megan Faremo also did, and so they are no strangers to one another. They faced each other also in the 2020 Olympics. Miyu Goto, only 20 during those Olympics. And there's a ground ball left side, and Kyoko Ishikawa fields and fires to second Sudo, but it's not in time. Flippen beats it out. Jessie Warren has an infield single, and the USA right away with a big chance.
Well, Flippen being a leader offensively for this team we've seen throughout the tournament and hustling down to second base, but putting the ball in play. Japan has an amazing defense, but if you're able to place it, whether or not it's a strong hit, that could be the deciding factor. We all want to see home runs like we saw in the Canada-Netherlands game, but making both of these teams on each side work is what's going to kind of tire them out and be a deciding factor, and Team USA has 2 runners on now.
Here's Deja Mulipola, a big-time power threat. And that pitch is upstairs for a ball. Miyu Goto in trouble right away. I mentioned that her last 3 outings have not been up to her standard. 1-0. Runners on first and second. And that one missed outside. Goto. 69 miles an hour on the gun. There you see the left-hander, Deja Mulipola, 4 out of 8 with a 2-0 count. That one just missed outside, ball 3. Goto got the loss in the game against the U.S. She pitched 5 innings, allowed 2 hits and 2 earned runs. And it was an RBI triple off the bat of Jessie Warren that got things started. And then Mulipola with a single drove home the second run. 3-0 and a breaking ball, and it's outside for ball 4. And so the U.S. has the bases loaded and only 1 out. And Amanda Lorenz, who is hitless in 13 at-bats, is going to come to the plate.
And that's another key for Team USA is Goto can place the ball where she wants it. So if she's pushing the limits right now, don't bite on that. Accept the walk, accept bases loaded. And so they're doing very good job having discipline up to bat right now.
And an off speed. That one is in there at the top of the zone. It shows you the respect they have for Mulipola that she threw an off speed pitch on 3-0 as well.
Well, changing the speed, changing what Team USA is expecting up to bat. They have the stats on them. They just played them. They know Goto's strengths. So you think she's going to come in first pitch with a strike because that's what the stats say. You got to switch it up. So a great idea coming in. You talk about the speed as well. You're throwing 68, 69, and then you come with a changeup at 58. That's going to kind of confuse you up to bat, and especially with your eyes.
And that was an off speed in there as well. That one coming in at 52. So we got a 17-mile-an-hour speed differential. That's exactly what you're talking about. Bases loaded inside the stoic dugout of Japan, looking on. And early, an unusual jam from Miyu Goto. And a little blooper, short right field. That ball is going to fall in for a base hit. Warren got a good read and will score. Excuse me, that's Flippin who scores, and the U.S. takes a 1-0 lead as Amanda Lorenz gets her first hit of the tournament and drives home the game's first run.
And this is up and in on Lorenz, and again, the sheer power that she has, that ball's hit off the handle. And again, we want big balls today, but Team USA wants to win. So if they can loop it in and set it right in between the defense, that's what they're going to do. And again, here they are. They're up on the board.
Here's Jocelyn Alo, still only 1 out. 1-0 USA. That pitch is outside for a ball. Warren, Mulipola, and Lorenz, the base runners. Infield is looking for a double play. Alo 3 out of 11 with a double and a run batted in this tournament. Off speed, a little floater. That's going to be caught at second base by Shiho Suto. And that's the second out of the inning. And so now Maya Brady. Maya Brady has had big hits in this tournament. 6 out of 13. 2 doubles, 5 runs batted in. She has also scored 3 runs. So coming up in a big spot here. Warren at third, Mulipola at second, Lorenz at first. And the pitch to Brady. And it's off the plate away. Goto has been falling behind. She has had a tough time hitting that outside corner. It'll be a 1-0. And a big swing, pulled foul. Count even now, 1 ball, 1 strike. Brady is 23 from Thousand Oaks, California. She once recorded 11 consecutive hits in her career. That was to start the season in 2023, and a big swing, and that one is off of her foot, and it rolls foul. So the count, 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And Goto's throwing hard again. She's testing the speed, the hands of Team USA. She's jamming them. She's throwing in. And Japan and Goto tend to have their balls, they're more straight in speed, even though it may be a screwball or a curveball breaking at a point. But these are ones that release from the hand and go straight at the batter. And she's dominating in a sense right now with that and kind of jamming, leaving USA limited on their hits.
That was a big pitch for Goto to get the strikeout, and she comes back after the bases loaded with 1 out to get the final 2 outs without allowing a second run to score. US gets 1 run on 2 hits, no errors, and 3 left. We go to the second inning here in the gold medal game of the 17th Women's Softball World Cup. It is 1-0 USA over Japan. We'll be right back on GameTime.Sport.
Now batting with number 13.
Beautiful evening here in Castellons de Strada, as there were a few clouds earlier in the evening, but they have cleared, and it is a gorgeous night. The first pitch to Eri Shimoyama is a ball. Kelly Maxwell now given a 1-run lead, and the way the USA pitching has been, Japan is probably already feeling the pressure. There's a swing and a miss. Shimoyama 4 for 13. She's scored 3 runs. She has doubled twice and driven in 3 runs. And there's a foul to the screen quickly in the hole. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It will be Shimoyama, Yui Sakamoto, and Shiho Suto, 4, 5, and 6 in the order for Japan. And the 1-2 pitch. That one is low. Good block by Mulipola. Always want to block those just in case you get a chase. 2-2 on Shimoyama, who has crept up and is crowding the plate ever so slightly. Very squared stance she has. Chokes up on the bat and takes that one up and away. Ball 3. Maxwell trying to get Shimoyama to expand the zone. 24-year-old. Just a few months older than her teammate Megan Faremo. There's a ground ball through the middle, base hit. So Shimoyama, the first base runner, first base hit allowed in this entire tournament by Kelly Maxwell. And Japan is going to try to mount a comeback here in the second inning. Ball retrieved by Haley McClaney in center field. And now Yui Sakamoto. Sakamoto, 3 hits and 13 at bats. One of those hits is a double. She also stands very close to the plate with a slightly closed, slightly open stance. Swing and a miss with the runner going. Mulipola's throw is not going to be in time because she had to clear the batter and take an odd angle. That pitch was way up and in, probably a hit and run.
Yeah, I think with a swing like that on a pitch like that, not necessarily a pitch you're going to drive. But again, doing your job, you have a hit and run, you have to swing, get in the way of the catcher.
So Japan with a break as the stolen base works. Now Sakamoto pulls back the bunt, and the count 1-1. Well, right there, this is a tying run. Kelly Maxwell had not given up a hit in the entire week. Suddenly, that's what Japan can do. They can move the base runners very quickly. And the bunt is fouled.
And Sakamoto needs to get that down. If you watched the Canada-Netherlands game going 4 or 5 extra innings, especially with the runner on second, more or less this is an extra inning situation. No outs, runner on second. You need to move that runner over so you can score her. That crucial bunt, if it's not laid down, digging yourself in a bit of a hole.
Breaking ball is outside, 2-2. That was the 10th stolen base for Japan in this tournament. They have attempted 12, so they have by far stolen the most bases of any team of the 8 that were in this tournament. There's a fly ball left center field, and that's going to land in front of McClaney. It bounces off her chest and rolls away. And now coming home to the plate, Shimoyama will score the tying run. And going to second on the play, Yui Sakamoto.
Sakamoto not getting a good swing on this, but enough out in front, hitting it on the right part of the bat, and something so simple as an awkward bounce onto the chest that rolls 5 feet away. Now the game is tied with the runner on second. It's going to be something that small that can push one of these teams to a gold medal.
So Sakamoto ties the game, and so much for that question of will Japan score. Well, the game we saw earlier today was full of surprises, and so why should we think anything less of this one? Right away,
it's also Japan. It's also Japan and USA. You know, it's going to be something exciting, and everyone's getting their money's worth, and it's not going to be an easy game for that title.
So now Shiho Suto with Sakamoto the go-ahead run, and she bunts one foul. Sakamoto on second base. It's definitely a base hit. We're waiting to see if it's going to be additionally an error.
And in these games, I guess your fundamentals, your perfect swing. But if Maxwell throws you a changeup and she fools you, you have 2 strikes and you start your swing, you have to find a way to put that ball in play. And it's scrappiness, but again, that's Japan can do the fundamentals so well and overpower, and they can also scrap their way around. So playing both sides of it here to get themselves even with Team USA.
And it is indeed a single and an E8. So no run batted in. And that is the 4th error of the tournament for the USA. Both of these teams had come into this game with only 3. So 0-2 on Suto, who, by the way, is 3 out of 8, and she chops at that one to stay alive.
And Suto, you see her kind of opening up her stance. Again, we're taught as athletes, as hitters, keep your feet still, keep them in line. But that's something that is so unique in Japan is they open up their stance, they move their feet and kind of get their chest open just to put the ball in play and protect themselves with 2 strikes.
Sakamoto on second base with 2 strikes. There's nobody out in the inning. And a swing and a miss as Kelly Maxwell able to get her 3rd strikeout. That's the first out in the inning, and now Ayana Kuroji will step up. As you could see Suto trying to just punch that ball to move the runner along, unable to do so. So Kuroji 2 for 6. She shows a bunt. The pitch is inside, and they will appeal. No swing, says Renzo Ruiz. So the count 1 ball, no strikes on Ayana Kuroji. And that pitch is taken upstairs. 2-0. Maxwell just missing on those.
You see Kuroji almost slapping, which is rare from the right side. And what I mean by that is shuffling forward in the box, a very unique hitting stance and then unique approach.
There's a little tapper slowly hit towards third. Warren is going to let it roll, and it rolls foul. That's strike 1. Probably a good decision. That would have been a base hit for Kuroji.
Well, right, we've seen that 3 or 4 times throughout the tournament. Are you able to get the ball in time before Kuroji gets to first? No. So what do you have to lose? Letting it roll behind you. If it goes foul, again, just a strike or another attempt. But if you go for it and it's fair, she's for sure on first base. So a good decision, good heads-up play from Warren at third.
2-1. That one breaks down and in, and the count 3-1. Now Japan, we had talked about this yesterday. They, as a team, had not walked all that much. Still only 8 for the whole week, but that doesn't mean they haven't been selective. As Kuroji now has worked the count 3-1 and hits a slow roller up the middle. That's going to creep through the infield into center field, and Japan takes the lead. Heading to second base, Kuroji, she is safe there on the RBI single. Yui Sakamoto comes home to score, and Japan leads 2-1.
Again, another hit from Japan, not overpowering, more or less getting fooled with their weight out in front, but they're able to keep their hands in the barrel of the bat long enough to get it into the outfield, something strong. And again, taking those extra bases when the ball's towards home, putting themselves in scoring position. Again, not just a run and stuff. So this is Japan.
So now a meeting in the circle. USA under a pressure they have not felt in a while. I mentioned that they had gone 28 consecutive innings before allowing a run. Well, that has been snapped, and all worry about setting records and or domination, that goes out the window. This is a battle as Maxwell is going to deal with Yume Kiriishi, the catcher, the number 8 hitter in the lineup. Kiriishi is 5 for 11. She's doubled twice among her 5 hits and driven in a run. Scored 3 herself. Ayana Karoji is on second base, and a throw behind her from Mulipola. She just got back. Not a bad idea. Mulipola with a good arm, and she made a perfect throw. The pitch was a ball. 1 ball, no strikes. Kiriishi at the plate. And that one is on the inside corner, 1-1. Japan having scored 2 runs on 2 hits. Excuse me, 3 hits this inning. Shimoyama, Yui Sakamoto, and then Ayana Karoji. Kiriishi at the plate. That one is upstairs. 2-1. Looking into that USA dugout as they cheer their teams on. This ballpark has been brimming with energy all day. And we have a packed house in this lovely stadium. That pitch is high for ball 3, 3-1. You can see Maxwell trying to hit that outside edge.
Well, she's kind of shifting her direction a little bit. Her drop ball was on point earlier, dropping right in front of the plate, hanging a little bit high. That's when the Japanese clutch up. So now So now trying to work side to side. You see her going out and now trying to jam Kiriishi, but trying to jam them. So again, switching her tactic, trying to get the Japanese hitters thinking up there and going maybe against what they had planned.
So 3-2 with 1 out. There's a ground ball pulled. A nice stab by Jessie Warren. She will hold the runner and fire to first in time for out number 2. That ball was ticketed for the left field corner, and Warren on the backhand made the play. And so now Urara Fujimoto will step up. Watch this again on the replay. Warren showing off a very strong arm from third. She was playing up. And now Fujimoto 3 out of 8 with Karoji on second base. And that pitch is high, and Karoji again getting a big lead, daring Mulipola to make another throw over there. You wonder if she might try to induce a throw and then take third. Utsugi, the coach for Japan, has been very aggressive base running. That pitch is low for ball 2. 2-0 on Fujimoto. After Fujimoto, if she can extend the inning, Ayana Nakagawa, the top of the order. Kelly Maxwell dealing 2 balls and no strikes. And a good off speed. That one's in there. 2-1. Outfield is straight away. Warren at third is playing up a bit, as is Garcia at first. And a chopper over the circle. This is Bates with the throw to first, and it's in time as Fujimoto sliding into first, just barely out, as a good stretch by Garcia on the back end, and the U.S. gets out of the inning.
Well, Bates' transfer here is so quick. That's what allows her to get the runner at first. So really good job and a quick transfer from Bates.
2 runs, 3 hits, 1 error, and 1 left on base. We're going to the bottom of the second inning here in the gold medal game at the Women's Softball World Cup. It's Japan 2, USA 1. We'll be right back on GameTime.sport. Bates against Miyu Goto, who has been given a lead. And the pitch to Garcia is on the corner for a strike. 0-1 to Rachel. Rachel 1 out of 6 in the tournament, including a double and a run scored. Here comes the 0-1. Goto spins one off the plate away, and the count even. 1 ball and 1 strike. USA scored a run and left the bases loaded in the first. Goto coming back to retire the final 2 hitters without allowing another run to score, as Garcia swings through that. 1-2 pitch. And Garcia chasing that off speed that's spinning down and away. Just got a piece to stay alive. In total, USA has won 15 gold medals in the history of international competition. That includes 2 Olympics and 1 World Games. And then the World Cup, as that breaking ball missed outside. Japan has won 5. 3 of those were the World Cup, and 2 were the Olympics. The most recent Olympics, 2020, and then the 2008 Beijing Olympics. Two balls and 2 strikes to Rachel Garcia, leading off the bottom of the second. USA and Japan. Japan leading 2-1. And Goto's pitch outside. In the first inning, it was started by Flippin. She singled, Warren singled, Mulipola walked, and then Amanda Lorenz singled to drive home the game's first run for the U.S. And strike 3 on the outside corner. Rachel Garcia is out number 1. Strikeout number 2 for Miyu Goto.
Working that outside, getting Rachel to reach and reach, and then coming in with that off speed again. 15, 16 mile an hour difference, and Goto using that to her advantage.
Now Haley McClenny, and that's a strike on the corner at the knees. But Goto, when she hits those first pitch corners, that's when she starts to get into a groove. She was off kilter ever so slightly in the first inning, but recovered. That one's outside. Kiriishi likes to shuffle off the plate and try to frame it with the arm angled back up the first baseline. One ball, 1 strike. That's fouled to the plate. 1-2.
You do see Kiriishi back there catching, moving a lot. I feel like pitchers wouldn't want that. Again, you have Goto, one of the best in the world, focused in. She knows where she needs to throw it. But again, you don't want to ever cross up your catchers and expect a ball one way and cross her up. But it seems to work for Japan because your pitchers can hit your spots.
1-2 on McClenny. And she lays off the off-speed pitch. The count evens 2-2. You have to go back to 2006 for there to be an event that didn't feature the USA and Japan in the World Cup. There's a ground ball to first base, an easy play for Eri Shimoyama, and there are 2 away. And Goto, who I mentioned was a part of the Japanese team in 2022 in the World Games. She was also in the Olympics in 2020. She got 3 of the wins in the 5 victories that Japan had in that tournament. And there's a fly ball off the bat of Bates into left field, caught along the line in fair territory by Ayana Nakagawa for out number 3. So the U.S. goes 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, nobody left at the end of 2 complete here in the gold medal game. It's Japan 2, USA 1. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup, live on GameTime.sport. Campo Comunal de Softball here in Castellones de Strada on a picture-perfect night here in July in the northeastern portion of Italy. Japan leading 2-1 here in the gold medal game, and it's the top of the order. Ayana Nakagawa, Kyoko Ishikawa, and Hotaru Tsukamoto. And the first pitch from Kelly Maxwell misses for a ball. Maxwell giving up 2 runs on 3 hits. There was also that error last inning. And Nakagawa now 3 out of 19. You see her average has dropped. There's a swing and a foul. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Of course, everything in this tournament is a small sample size. 3 out of 19. You can't say somebody's really slumping. It just means they're 3 out of 19. Nakagawa, a very capable hitter. That's why she's the leadoff hitter.
I think that's the point, is everyone here is a great athlete, a great hitter. And so what you've done necessarily the last couple of games, we saw that in the Canada game earlier. It doesn't really matter what you've done before. It matters now. And like you said, all these athletes are able to put the ball over the fence, get themselves on and stuff like that. So gold medal game. You're going to be prime. You're going to be in your zone.
Well, Kelly Maxwell is trying to find the zone right now. She's behind 3 balls and 1 strike to Ayana Nakagawa, who made that catch to end the last half inning. And the pitch, a big bouncer, and that gets over the head of Garcia into right field. Nakagawa takes a turn and will hold on. The leadoff single for Japan. Well, we know that Reika Utsugi, a very active coach. You know, I saw her in the game yesterday that Japan was playing. And in between innings, in one of the heat breaks, she was doing some drills with Hitomi Kawabata, practicing specifically moving to the left on ground balls. And you can see right there, that's exactly what she's doing. She's going down that line, and excuse me, that was Eri Yamada, the first base coach. But Utsugi is very active in doing the same thing, always in there. And actually, now she's taking practice swings in front of the dugout, and we're going to have a pitching change as Kelly Maxwell, who had been unhittable, has given up 4 hits in 2+ innings. So she will be removed. Heather Tarr wasting no time, and Megan Faremo, who was lights out throwing a complete game 2-hit shutout in the 2-0 victory on Thursday, is going to come in. So the Texan will be relieved by the UCLA Bruin, and Megan Faremo will take over in the circle, with Japan leading 2-1. So Ayana Nakagawa, that's the 4th hit that Maxwell has allowed, and certainly an uncharacteristic outing for her. She had been so dominant, but again, Japanese hitters, they're so adept at getting the bat to the ball and swinging down on the pitch and trying to chop it in the ground, and that's exactly what Nakagawa did. Big bouncer over the head of the drawn-in infield.
Well, right, especially facing a pitcher like Maxwell, who has those different types of pitches that spin. But now with Faremo, speed, you can not adjust your swing, but you have to have a different approach facing different pitchers. And so, again, they work on putting the ball in play. You see them reaching sometimes, or just that little chop, as you said, doing whatever they need to do to put the ball in play. And that's why, again, we hear about Japan and Team USA rivalry. Those 2 teams are the teams that do it best, and we haven't seen a big hit yet here in this game. So again, just putting the ball in play, if it's a blooper or something small, because that's how this game's going to be.
Yoko Ishikawa against Megan Faremo. Ishikawa struck out her first time against Maxwell. Nakagawa on first base. The pitch is bunted, and this is going to be a foul ball. Megan Faremo in 12 innings has allowed 5 hits, no runs, 17 strikeouts. Five of those innings against Italy, and then of course the 7-inning 3-hit shutout against Japan. That pitch is upstairs. But of course, the second time you see somebody, you have that chance to make an adjustment. Japan already has 7 innings worth of information against Megan Faremo, and I mentioned Faremo was teammates with Yume Kiriishi. And there's a line drive right to short. The runner's caught off first. That's a double play, as Nakagawa didn't read that line drive. Nicole Bates made the play and flipped it over to Garcia for an easy double play, and there are 2 down.
Wondering if a potential hit and run was on, because Nakagawa was so far down the line, but again, missed opportunity, of course, when double plays happen.
Of course, in the Olympics in 2021, there was a huge double play that occurred in that game, as Hotaru Tsukamoto, who flied to short her first time. That was a line drive double play that Japan was able to turn. It was a line drive to the third baseman, deflected and caught by the shortstop, who then doubled off the runner from second base. And that was in the 6th inning of a 2-0 ball game. This one is a 2-1 ball game, and Faremo is upstairs for ball 2.
I actually remember that. We were able to go as the athletes, and it was just a whole shift in the environment of just the teams and stuff. But that's kind of what Japan needs now, is some type of momentum shift. They're doing their part on defense, but again, not getting too many runners on and able to move them over. So if they can have some type of momentum shift here with 2 outs, would be huge for them, because it's still early in the game.
2-1. There's a line drive to left field. That's going to be in for a base hit and roll all the way to the wall. Long run for Lawrence to go get it. Meanwhile, racing all the way to third base and stopping and going back to second, Tsukamoto. She changed her mind very quickly as Lawrence was able to gather that and get it in. Not wanting to make that third out at second.
Exactly, Tim, exactly. Not wanting to make that third out at third base with your lineup starting to build up, but Tsukamoto doing a great job. Again, not these big home run swings, but putting the ball in play, and there you go, holding up. Really good base running decision there. Again, almost switching positions. Now you have yourself on second base.
Eri Shimoyama now, the cleanup hitter. And that pitch is upstairs from Furemo. 70 miles an hour on that offering. That's the top speed I think we've seen all week. Furemo, a little extra fire. I don't think she hit 70 on Thursday. Swing and a miss. That one might crack 71.
You can tell she's throwing hard, but on the downside, when Japan just puts their bat out, that's why Tsukamoto's ball is able to roll to the fence. So if she's able to place it very well, that's how she's going to get the Japanese hitters out.
Strike called, and it's now 1-2. And Tsukamoto has shown incredible back control. Remember, we mentioned how they were bunching her in the gap in left center. Well, that one went down the left field line. And so now, where are they going to position the outfielders the next time she comes up?
Exactly.
1-2. That one's tapped foul over the press area, and the count remains 1-2. It is 2-1 Japan in the gold medal game. This one has a different feel already from the past gold medal games that these two teams have played. This is not going to be an easy win for either team. That one is hit high in the air down the left field line. Lawrence is under it and puts it away for the final out. Furemo comes in and takes care of the inning. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, 1 left at the end of 2.5 here in Castellones de Estrada. It's the gold medal game. Japan is leading the USA 2-1. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup live on GameTime.sport. The gold medal game moves to the bottom of the 3rd inning, 2-1 Japan leading. And the first pitch to Hannah Flippen is outside for a ball. 2, 3, and 4. Flippen, Warren, and Mulipola. Flippen singled and scored her first time. She got things started for USA. And that pitch outside, away. 2 balls and no strikes. The fans have been enjoying doing the wave all week. But there is a large contingency of USA fans here, as well as, I'm sure, a lot of the leftover Netherlands and Canada fans, and several Japanese fans have made the trek here to northeastern Italy. 2 balls and 1 strike to count to Hannah Flippen, who was a NFCA All-American back in 2017. University of Utah. There's a swing and a line drive. That's a base hit past Ishikawa in the left field. And Flippen is aboard for the 2nd time. Good start for the USA here in the 3rd. And that'll bring up Jessie Warren. Flippen got a pitch inside, was able to muscle it past the shortstop Ishikawa.
Well, does a great job waiting on it. The first pitch kind of fooled her. First changeup off speed fooled her. Team USA, you're not going to fool them twice, especially Hannah Flippen, and she has herself on. Again, we talk about the leadoff runners getting on. I can't stop talking about it, because when the leadoff runner gets on, these teams are successful in that, or they have a higher chance of doing that. So Warren now up with no outs, and Flippen doing a great job getting on.
And Warren has shown bunt twice, pulled it back twice, and it's been a ball twice. Warren, who leads the team with 6 runs batted in and a home run, including a double and a triple. So 3 out of her 6 hits prior to this game, she has that base hit. There's a high towering drive yanked deep and foul for a strike. I was just going to say, 2 times trying to bunt with somebody with that kind of power, and Jessie Warren showed exactly what that is right there. Career .391 hitter with the Florida State Seminoles. She had 83 home runs in her college career. Not bad. 2 balls and a strike with Flippin on first base. That one just missed outside. Kiri Ishii really trying to pull that ball back in. You can see a lot of movement. You know, framing has become a true art form. And Kiri Ishii trying to pull that one back in. Did not get the call. 3-1. That's a rocket base hit to left field. It's gathered in by Ayana Nakagawa, and the USA have 2 runners on with nobody out here in the 3rd inning. That ball was absolutely scalded.
Well, Goto again working outside, missing just slightly, struggling on that outside. So she goes in on Warren, and Warren gets her bat out in front of it, and her hands out in front of the ball, and drives it down to third base. You kind of talked about with no one on and a runner on first, do you play that bunt game? But when you have someone like Warren up to bat who's done extremely well in the tournament, no, you give her put the bat in her hand and let her prove that she can hit, and she does just that.
And so now Reika Utsugi having a complete team meeting with the outfield and the infield in the circle. Meanwhile, Heather Tarr meeting with the 2 base runners, plus Deja Mulipola and Amanda Lorenz, Jocelyn Allo as well. So everybody's talking it over. Home plate umpire Mariana Prince is out there hovering outside the circle. You see this packed ballpark, fans from all around the world that have made the trek and helped make this week so much fun. Softball fans, and this game right now, a very uneasy feeling. You know, the last thing you expect is a slugfest in a game between Japan and the USA, but both teams with 5 hits, and we're only in the bottom of the 3rd.
Well, I think that's something that has changed also in the last couple of years, especially since the Olympics. The Olympics, they dominated. Pitching dominated. Monica Abbott, Kat Osterman, and then Ueno, of course, still on the team, though. So the pitching has always dominated for these teams, and now struggling a bit. The hitters have to kind of clutch up, and it's going to be those hard hits.
Mulipola unable to check her swing on that pitch, dropping down and in. That's an effective pitch that Miyu Goto has thrown. Mulipola walked for her first time. Flippin and Warren are on base with nobody out. And that's a strike on the outside corner. Very quickly, Mulipola is in the hole. No sign of a bunt. Obviously, the same reasoning with Warren. No reason to have Mulipola bunt when she can hit 350-foot home runs.
Well, that's that chance you play. Can she lay down a bunt? Absolutely. But let's see if she can get something deep.
That's a foul ball, as Japan is going to play it across the diamond, but it's a foul ball. The ball was tapped and went backwards, so Mulipola will remain in the batter's box. Yeah, this is a power against power team. I know that we talked about how Reika Utsugi of Japan was praising their team's speed and defense, but you know, we've seen they can get the bat on the ball and they can drive it to the gap when they need to. 0-2. There's a ground ball to the right side. Suto goes to second for 1. The relay throw to first is not in time, and Mulipola is safe. Moving to third on the play is Flippin. So Warren is retired 4-6, and there's 1 away. And the U.S. will have runners on first and third with only 1 out. But again, now Miyu Goto had bases loaded and 1 out in the first inning and was able to retire. Strand runner at third with less than 2 out. Amanda Lorenz looks at a ball, and Mulipola getting way off the bag to try to see what Yume Kiriishi will do. Kiriishi just faking a throw and nothing more. Amanda Lorenz awaits the 1-0 off speed, and that's in for a strike.
And Goto's going to kind of work the off-speed, work low in the counter, try and get Lorenz to roll over, because a great double play situation. We see the infield coming in case Flippin does go home. They want to be prepared for that, but we're trying to get a ball on the ground and double them up and get out of this inning.
Excellent off-speed pitch right on the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes now, and Miyu Goto so far only 3 off-speed pitches. If you're Lorenz, you got to be wondering when the fastball is coming. 1-2. Tried to hit that outside corner, and again, that's one of those ones where Kiriishi really drags the glove across. Sometimes you really open up that lane and make it look like it's even more outside than it is, and you can see on the pitch tracks. Close pitches, 2-2 the count. That one is way outside. Mulipola will take second base, no throw. So stolen base puts runners on second and third, and the count is full for Amanda Lorenz. So now Lorenz could give the USA a lead with a base hit. 3-2 from Miu Goto to Amanda Lorenz. And she was able to wait just enough. Is that by design, to angle the bat to make it go foul?
No, that's you getting fooled by a changeup and trying to pull back. I think luckily it hit the bat, though, or that might have been strike three. But you mentioned Goto only throwing, what, now 4 or 5 changeup pitches, and 2 of them being to Lorenz. So again, what is she going to get that again? Is she going to go up? But I think she's in the head of Lorenz right now with those changeups.
3-2. And Lorenz stays alive. A good short swing on a pitch riding in on her hands.
And that's what that changeup, that pitch before was. She's not going to hit it hard, but it's a setup pitch to jam her that next time around. And she's able to get a bat on it, but you could see really late on it.
Well, every pitch is going to be a battle, and this is one of those situations. If you're Amanda Lorenz, or on the other side, if you're Goto, these are the moments that decide the game, or could potentially decide the game. Right now, it feels like both teams are hitting, but that could change at any moment. And a swing and a miss. Goto wins the battle. A big strikeout for Japan. That's Goto's third, and there are 2 away. The infielders can back up and play normal depth. Excellent pitch right under the hands. And now Jocelyn Alo, who popped out her first time, 3 for 12 in the tournament. Flipping at third, Mulipola at second, 2 outs. And a strike called on the outside corner to Alo. You can hear all the chatter. There has been an electricity in this ballpark since the beginning of play today, as Lorenz is going to go out and run for Mulipola. So now we're 2 down. Mulipola gets to go back in and put the catcher's gear on. Jocelyn Alo with a 1-strike count. Swing and a miss, and it's now 0-2. Two to 1 Japan leading. We're in the bottom of the third. And Alo just able to stay alive there. Miu Goto has had to battle in each of her last 3 outings. This one no different. Trying to make a big pitch and strand runners on second and third. A ground ball off her glove. Ishikawa recovers. The throw to first is in time. And Goto with a big high five as the entire infield of Japan celebrates a 1-6-3 putout to end the inning, and the USA is unable to score. They strand runners on second and third. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, 2 left on base at the end of 3 complete here in the gold medal game of the Women's Softball World Cup. It is Japan 2, USA 1. We go to the top of the fourth inning. It is 2-1, Japan leading the USA in the gold medal game. And for Japan, it'll be 5, 6, and 7. Yui Sakamoto, Shiho Suto, and Ayana Kuroji against Megan Faremo. And the first pitch is an off-speed, fouled away by Yui Sakamoto. Kelly Maxwell started. She allowed the 2 runs. Only 1 was earned. There was that error on Haley McClaney in center field on the single off the bat of Yui Sakamoto, who is currently at the plate. That allowed the first run to score. 0-1. A high fly ball down the left field line, and it would be caught in foul territory by Amanda Lorenz for out number 1. And that will bring up Shiho Suto. Suto struck out her first time. Maxwell struck out 3 while she was in there. She went 2+, allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, no walks, and 3 strikeouts. And so now Suto, left-hand hitter against Faremo, and that pitch is low for a ball. USA and Japan have played this game before. In 2018, it took 10 innings to decide that one. We just saw a game that went 11 innings, if my memory serves me. I think a lot of folks in the ballpark were exasperated after the conclusion of the bronze medal game today. Right now, Japan and USA doing battle. We have a 1-run affair. The pitch is inside, 2-0. It's 3-0, excuse me, on Shiho Suto. And that is upstairs for ball 4. Japan will get another leadoff base runner. That's the 3rd inning in a row in which they have had a leadoff base runner. As you get a look at the fans, we've had lots of hot weather this week, but today, and actually last night, some weather came through and cooled things off. As play began today at 8:55 p.m., it was a lovely 26 degrees centigrade. It's about 76 Fahrenheit or so. So Shiho Suto is on first base, and Kuroji, who had an RBI single her first time, takes a strike. Kuroji checking the signs from Reika Utsugi down the line. This is a game that you feel like it's early in the game, and then you blink and suddenly it's late. That's fouled away 0-2. In this World Cup tournament, we've had a lot of drama in the past few days. We had, of course, the walk-off earlier today. We had a total of 4 extra inning games. All of them yesterday and today. A swing and a miss. Down goes Kuroji. That is Faremo's first strikeout since coming into the game. That's already an indication of the adjustments Japan has made to her offerings.
Exactly. Faremo coming in, keeping it low. Again, that drop ball already a ball, but breaks even more. It's deceiving. But Japan, again, with runners on, need to be able to put the ball in play and be a little more disciplined. You can see them starting to stray a little bit.
Kiri Ishii takes a breaking pitch on the corner for a strike. 2 down. And an off-speed throw, swung and missed, and it's 0-2. And Mulipola faked the throw to first as Suto was getting a very big secondary lead off the bag. But Kiri Ishii, who I mentioned, there's a pitch in the dirt, and Mulipola unable to corral it, and so Suto will take second base on a wild pitch.
Suto advances to second base.
Faremo, who played in the professional league for a short while in Japan, played for the Toyota Red Terriers, and that's the same team that Yume Kiriishi plays for, as well as Miyu Goto. Monica Abbott also for a while played there. And so you figure Kiriishi, besides last Thursday, has seen Faremo before. 0-2. That's a big run at second base, even though they're 2 down. Suto. And there's a fly ball to center field. It's going to drop for a base hit. Suto racing around. She slides in safely with the 3rd run for Japan. An RBI single off the bat of Yume Kiriishi. And it is 3-1. And the wild pitch, a huge factor in that one. As Faremo changing her game plan, going with the off-speed stuff. Let one get away. And Suto, with 2 outs, able to run as soon as that ball was put in play and scored easily. So Japan has a 3-1 lead here in the top of the 4th inning. There are 2 down, and that's a big 2-out base hit as well for Kiriishi. Fujimoto now, Urara Fujimoto. And that pitch is on the corner at the knees for a strike, 0-1. That pitch is outside. And it is Ayana Karoji, by the way, the temporary runner for Kiriishi, of course. Kiriishi, the catcher. 1 ball and 1 strike to Urara Fujimoto. With Karoji on first, there's a swing and a miss. Strike 2. So now it's Faremo's turn to make an adjustment. This is a game of back and forth adjusting. We've seen the way that Japan is just sticking the bat out there, trying to return serve almost. That one's poked foul to stay alive by Fujimoto.
Well, it's also if you can execute in that situation. Again, I think Janquish behind the plate, not able to keep that ball in front of her, or the speed of Japan playing a part in that. But again, if you have a runner on second, are you able to execute a base hit? Not anything pretty, but you are. You can put it deep enough to score a run, and that's those little things that are going to make a difference. A blocked ball or a pop-up, stuff like that, because again, it's Team USA versus Japan. You're not going to get a lot of opportunities to make stuff happen. So when you do, you need to execute, you need to clutch up.
1-2 on Fujimoto. Shows bunt, pulls it back, pitch is outside. Yeah, you're right. Jaquish came in defensively at the beginning of this inning. And so with 2 down, Japan so far has been doing the little things right. They've gotten some 2-out hits. And there's another foul ball off to the left off the bat of Fujimoto. Very nervous energy coming from that USA dugout.
Yeah, things aren't necessarily going their way, or the momentum's not on their side, and we've seen that again numerous times, the momentum shift.
Swinging a foul ball that was tipped by Fujimoto with the runner going, and so Karoji will have to go back.
But again, going back to that momentum shift, and if Faremo can get this 3rd strike or get out of this inning, the energy that she brings in the circle when she's pumped up, she's got that pump fist and stuff like that. So that's those little things that can kind of shift the momentum and not be so nervous in the dugout.
The pitch was taken for a ball. A throw to second base is not in time, and a stolen base for Karoji, who was running for Yume Kiriishi.
Stolen base.
And the throw from Jaquish was to the 3rd base side, and you see how Flippen had to reach across her body to try to apply that tag. So now another run in scoring position for Japan, who seems to be able to just poke that ball over the infield. 2-2. It's still 2-strike count. This has been a tough at bat for Urara Fujimoto. She's fouled off a number of pitches. 4 foul balls in this at bat. And now she is going to take first base. That is a pitch clock violation for ball 4.
Intentional walk.
Or it's an intentional walk, excuse me. So now the top of the order, Ayana Nakagawa. Boy, an intentional walk with 2 strikes and 2 outs. That's a risky move. You put on another base runner for Nakagawa, who already has 1 3-run home run in this tournament. And that pitch is a strike.
You have to assume that they're thinking force play, get the ball on the ground, and make the easier play. But again, that is risky, putting any extra Japan offense runners on. And it's interesting that you can have the confidence, right? You have to believe in your players. You have to believe in your pitcher. And Faremo struggling a little bit. But again, is she going to be able to shift the momentum in this situation and bring some momentum into the dugout for her offense to produce some runs?
1-1 the count with 2 down in the inning. There's a ground ball, base hit to right field. Kuroji around third, racing to the plate. The throw is offline. She scores. And runners will end up on second and third as the throw from Brady overthrew the cutoff and went all the way to the plate. And so that puts runners on second and third. It is now 4-1 Japan. It's an RBI single off the bat of Ayana Nakagawa, and the intentional walk backfires. And now a meeting in the circle. As you see, Nakagawa had to wait and see where the throw was going to go. And the third baseline. A rare show of some perhaps desperation is not the right word, but you know, in a game like this, the mental game is you still got to just execute the fundamentals. You can't try to be a hero on every play. And overthrowing the cutoff is a mistake. So now you have Kyoko Ishikawa, who's been an incredibly tough out. She, however, today has somehow made 2 outs. She lined out and struck out. But boy, with runners on second and third, Fujimoto at third, Nakagawa at second. 1 strike to Ishikawa. Still 2 down. Another 2-out hit for Japan. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Yume Kiriishi with a run-scoring single. Urara Fujimoto with a run-scoring single. And Ayana Nakagawa. And that one's fouled to the screen. Kiriishi, excuse me, is the one who scored. That run is going to go on her ledger because it was the temporary runner, Ayana Kuroji. At any rate, the score is 4-1 Japan, and they have silenced the large contingency of American fans in this ballpark. 0-2 from Faremo to Ishikawa. And she slaps that one foul. Inside the Japanese dugout, not a lot of emotion. They know there's still a lot of game to play. We just saw Canada come back from a 4-run deficit against Netherlands in an incredibly exciting game. One game that's going to go down in softball history. Ishikawa trying to make this one much more comfortable for Japan. That one is upstairs. 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Well, again, we're talking about the Netherlands and Canada game in history, but USA and Japan is also a huge historical game, and neither one of these teams should come in thinking this was going to be an easy game. And you see kind of the attitudes or the emotions, the appearance of Team USA a little deflated. Faremo not her amped up self. She's frustrated for sure, but again, the confidence that they need to bring on the offense needs to start now, because any team can come back, and it's not going to be easy, but to work at it inning by inning and pitch by pitch, 1 base at a time. So they need to kind of keep their energy high, and Faremo to really go after them. She can't, I don't want to say like be scared of them, because you're not scared, you're Megan Faremo, but still she needs to continue to throw her game, know her strength, and go at Japan right now.
There is a point when if you try to do too much strategy, you get away from your own strengths. There's a 2-2. That one is lined to right field for a base hit. In to score Fujimoto. The throw to the plate not in time to get Nakagawa. And Japan has opened up a 6-1 lead here in the top of the 4th inning. A 2-run single off the bat of Kyoko Ishikawa, the top hitter in the tournament. That's her 11th hit. And Japan has stunned the Americans so far. It is 6-1. All of this with 2 outs. Time is called. Heather Tarr is going to meet with home plate umpire Mariana Prinz, and we shall see what this means. Meanwhile, Reika Utsugi, with a big smile on her face, is going to go and have a chat with Hotaru Tsukamoto. Also a big smile on her face. Heather Tarr, not so much. This inning has slipped away, and what a complete reversal of the pitching and the performance of Team USA. They had not given up a run in 28 innings leading into this game, including a shutout against Japan. And we're going to see Ali Carta, the third pitcher for Team USA. She is out to the circle talking with Megan Faremo. And Carta is going to come in and try to stop the bleeding right here. A stunned USA pitching staff. A cautiously hopeful Japanese dugout. And an absolutely gorgeous night in Castellons de Strada. The more than 2,000 fans that have packed into this ballpark. And Ali Carta is going to come in. Carta had been the last pitcher for Team USA to even give up a run. She pitched in the opener against Canada and allowed 2 runs. And the UCLA Bruin, the captain of this team, who's been with the national team since 2015, is going to come in and try to stop this thing right where it is. The 2 young upstarts, Kelly Maxwell and Faremo, were touched for 6 runs in this one. But Carta, who struggled in the 3 innings against Canada, rebounded with 4 shutout innings against China. And then she also pitched on Friday versus the Netherlands. In fact, Netherlands were no hit in that game. Carta and Maxwell combined to throw 5 hitless innings against the Netherlands. But now, the 8th hitter to come to the plate, Hotaru Tsukamoto, with Ishikawa on first base. And the first one is high, 1 ball and no strikes.
And no one better to bring in this situation besides Ali Carta. The team captain knows the Japanese offense very well, but again, she's been getting better throughout the tournament. Struggled a little bit, but she's going to come in, work her corners, and you already see her demeanor and the way she's throwing different from the last 2 days, and that's what Team USA needs, especially from their leader.
Well, it was Ali Carta that got the 3-inning save in the clincher in the 2022 World Games. There's a ground ball backhanded by Bates from her knees. She bounces the throw, and it's not going to be in time. The ball got away from Garcia, heading to third with alert base running, Kyoko Ishikawa. And now Japan is starting to flex their speed muscles as Ishikawa, with an excellent base running play, saw that ball trickle out of the glove of Rachel Garcia. Bates unable to get a good throw off. And Tsukamoto is safe at first base. All of this with 2 outs.
Talk about a 2-out rally. Bates doing well, getting the ball, throwing that from her knees, a tough play. And we talked in one of the games about throwing that ball 1 or 2 hops in front of the first baseman, but without that speed for it to stick in Rachel Garcia's glove at first, that's what makes it pop out. Again, like you said, Japan, when they attack and when they get going, they get going. They kind of, I don't want to say, I don't know what to say, but again, they don't let up is what I'm trying to say. So they're going to use all of their strengths.
There's a liner caught by Carta, and she will flip the ball back down to the dirt in the circle. And that ends the inning, but I know exactly what you're talking about. When they start to loosen up and have a little fun with their game, that's when they really can be dangerous. 9 hitters come to the plate, and 4 runs cross it. 4 runs for Japan. They lead 6-1. We're going to the bottom of the 4th inning here in the gold medal game of the 17th. To the bottom of the 4th inning we go. Japan putting up 4 runs on 5 hits. And Miyu Goto has to feel like she won the lottery, having a 5-run lead with which to work, and now she can just go out there and try to pitch her game and not be too tight, not be too nervous. You have room for error, and the first pitch was in there for a strike to Maya Brady. 7, 8, and 9 in the order for the USA. That's a strike at the top of the zone. 0-2. Brady 0 for 1. She struck out. It'll be Brady, Rachel Garcia, and Haley McClaney for the USA as they're going to try to capture some of that energy that Canada had in the bronze medal game and mount a comeback. Meanwhile, Miyu Goto deals the pitch on the corner for strike 2, and the count 1 ball and 2 strikes. That second pitch was too high. That one is off the plate away. Goto has upped her tempo. Now there's a lot less deliberation between deliveries. It's as if they've had a massive weight lifted off their backs.
Right, Goto's in the driving seat, except for
a little easy pop fly for Yui Sakamoto. That's got to be the easiest play she's made all tournament. 1 away as Maya Brady pops that one up for out number 1.
Tim, I liked how you said playing loose. Goto under pressure, missing her outside pitches earlier in the game. Now, not really too much pressure with that because she has some wiggle room. She's up by 5, so she's able to kind of maybe walk a batter. And, you know, if that ends in a run, still that wiggle room a little bit. But this is still Team USA. Can they come back? Absolutely. So playing a little lighter and room for error, but can't really let your guard down too much in this scenario.
Rachel Garcia struck out looking. Miyu Goto with 3 strikeouts. She has not been the strikeout machine that Kelly Maxwell and Faremo were, but she's been very effective. She's been inducing weak contact. 1 ball and 1 strike to count to Rachel Garcia. Infield is back. Outfield is deep. Goto induces a soft liner to Eri Shimoyama, who makes the catch for out number 2. 1 liner to third, 1 to first. Off the end of the bat of Garcia, and she goes back frustrated to the dugout for out number 2.
Well, Goto's not allowing Team USA to hit solid. You have Rachel Garcia again, just kind of line driving it, not even a solid line drive. So you're taking the bat out of Team USA hand, and that's how you beat them. You can see that the offense is beating Team USA's pitchers, getting to them, and now switching tactics. Japan's defense and pitching is taking over, I guess, for USA. On USA's side, I mean, excuse me.
That is a beautiful breaking ball dropping in for strike 1. 1-1 on Haley McClaney. McClaney bounced out her first time. USA a run on 5 hits, but suddenly those 5 hits feel like they were a long time ago. That pitch is on the corner, 1-2. They've made 2 errors of the USA. And with a pitcher like Miyu Goto on the mound, who just missed that on the outside corner, this is a pitcher who's been through the fire. She's been on the biggest stages in the world. This is a walk in the park in terms of pressure for her. And that's the type of pitcher that you fear on the other side of a 5-run deficit.
Well, yeah, and she has the lead, again, not struggling in a sense and only going to get better. So you do fear that. You know she's beating you. You know she's confident. And that's really going to play a part in Team USA and their mental game as well, like you said.
That's fouled off McClaney's leg, and she will remain in the box with a 3-2 count. If McClaney can get on, Sis Bates will be the next hitter. Heather Tarr in this game electing to have Bates at short and Flippen at second. We had seen Hannah Flippen play shortstop earlier this week, and Tiara Jennings and or Janae Jefferson in the lineup. But there's a breaking ball fouled to the screen. As McClaney trying to stay alive. 3-2 with 2 outs. Bottom of the 4th inning. Japan with a 6-1 lead. And that one fouled away again. McClaney trying to battle. You know, again, these are those types of games you can't give up. This is the gold medal game. And for the USA, they're going to have to mount a comeback. They're going to have to make this a truly historic day in softball history. But as we were talking about yesterday in the game between Canada and Japan, I believe it was, you're close to that run rule, yes, but you're also not that far away. It's definitely possible. Japan scored 4 runs. The USA can definitely score 4 runs in an inning, and they can do it with 2 outs. This is the message they have to be telling themselves in the dugout to get it back in the game as McClaney draws a walk to turn over lineup versus Bates.
Well, right, they still have time, but it's also a short amount of time. But can they do it? Absolutely, and they need to be confident in that, because 5 runs to them isn't that much. But again, you need to go up there thinking you can do it. And if they think that if they go into the box already on the defense from Goto, that's when you start to lose. That's when you strike out. That's when you hit a ball off the handle.
That one burns the inside corner, 1-1. Now thinking back to the 1st inning, the USA scored first in this game and they had the bases loaded at 1 out. And that's when Miyu Goto made her biggest pitches of this game. That one's fouled at the plate for strike 2. A check swing from Nicole Bates. That one got a big piece of Kiriishi, rolled all the way to Utsugi. Boy, the mannerisms from Utsugi today in comparison to the games versus Netherlands and Canada, much more loose over there. A big smile on her face.
And that sometimes coming from someone that's played them, that is almost more intimidating when they're happy, when they're showing that emotion, because that means that they're in the zone.
And Miyu Goto was in the zone to strike out Nicole Bates and end the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. The USA have left 6 through 4. We go to the 5th inning here in the gold medal game of the Women's Softball World Cup live on GameTime.sport. 6-1 Japan. We go to the top of the 5th inning here in Castellones de Strada. Tim Collins and Amanda Fama with you. Hope you're enjoying your evening and or early morning, depending on where you may be watching this game from. Also, those of you on the west coast of North America, good afternoon to you. It is 6-1. Japan leading the USA, and the lineup in this inning is going to start exactly where it did in the last inning, as Ali Carta will deal with Yui Sakamoto. Carta, the 3rd pitcher for the United States. The game was started by Kelly Maxwell. She went 2 innings, allowed 4 hits and 2 runs. There's a ground ball. That's going to take a hop, get past the dive of Bates. A leadoff single for Yui Sakamoto. And she is aboard. She's now 2 for 3. Megan Faremo pitched 1 2/3 innings, allowed 4 runs on 4 hits with 2 walks and 1 strikeout. And now Ali Carta, the 3rd pitcher, has to deal with another leadoff base runner. That's the 4th in a row. You know, the 1st inning, Kelly Maxwell struck out 2 and got a pop-up. It looked like we were going to be in for a pitcher's duel. And Japan has completely thrown that narrative on its head, as Shiho Suto standing up there. She's already got the hands spread apart and waggling the bat as if she's going to bunt and or slap the first pitch. She bunts and misses. That's a strike. Yui Sakamoto is the runner on first base. Japan is trying to score as many runs as they can to take the drama out of this and put an exclamation point on their record. These teams have traded gold medals. There's a bunt. That ball is deadened perfectly. Mulipola thought about going to second, but goes to first in time. And Shiho Suto with the sacrifice is out.
And
so there's one away.
That ball just dies right in front of the batter's box. Again, a great job. All she's supposed to do, you can tell she's not up there to do anything else than move the runner over on, and executing simple softball. And what you were getting to earlier is Team USA is leaving too many runners on. They're missing those opportunities. And so Japan playing simple ball, bunting it down. Now you have a runner in scoring position.
Japan has been very efficient with their base runners. They've scored 6 of them. That's a big swing and a miss from Ayana Karoji. 1 ball and 1 strike. Ali Carta, been in this position before. 1 ball and 1 strike. Here it comes. That one's off the plate on the inside corner. You know, last inning, Savannah Jaquish came in to catch, and it completely backfired on Heather Tarr. There was a wild pitch, and that's just the way it goes sometimes. I mean, this is a tough team to defend against. They are so quick, and not only the speed, as there's a roller to the right side. Garcia will tag out Karoji, but moving to third on the plate, Sakamoto. But, you know, it just goes to show you make all the right moves and still it doesn't go your way.
Well, that's what's hard, and that's the game when you're playing these elite athletes. You can't give any room for Japan to get on, to get some momentum and a rhythm going, because when they do, they're more or less unstoppable. And so Jaquish kind of bobbling a bad pitch and blocking it off to the side instead of in front of her and allowing Japan to steal on her. Those are those little things that just get the ball rolling for Japan. And when, like I said, when they get going, they're unstoppable.
Well, that wild pitch at the moment, you know, when it happened, the wild pitch was important because the 2-out single off the bat of Karoji brought home a run. But then after that, they scored 3 more. So, you know, in the greater picture, it doesn't really affect things. And it was a very wild pitch, to be fair. However, it's just ironic that you bring in a catcher like Jaquish, and then you have to credit the base running of Japan. They had some excellent reads. They did not hesitate. And it's just a credit to how good they are, right? An excellent catcher like Jaquish, there was nothing she could do.
Right. No, given that. But again, in reality, Team USA, Team Japan are the best 2 in the world. We see that. So one of those teams has to play perfect to beat the other. And when little things happen that don't really, if you're 2 different teams playing, it's not a big deal. But when it's Japan and USA, it's a huge deal. It's a huge error, and it's magnetized, and that's the point.
Our gold medal's magnetic. That pitch is upstairs for ball 4. First and third with 2 outs as Sakamoto is at third. Kiriishi now with the walk, and she's going to get the temporary runner again. Karoji is going to go in. And now Urara Fujimoto. And we're going to get another pitching change, I believe, for Team USA. So the wheels are spinning, and they're spinning quickly. USA desperately trying to prevent any more runs to come home. It's 6-1 currently. Japan threatening. And no pitching change. I misspoke. Ali Carta still out there. But again, 2 outs, another 2-out rally for Japan. And that pitch is outside. Now they've got Sakamoto caught, and she is tagged out at the plate. A perfect job by Deja Mulipola as Japan sending the runner Kiriishi from first. Mulipola with a fake, and Sakamoto was caught coming home, and Deja makes that tag. Here you see that's an excellent fake. The play going 2-5-2. And the inning is over. So a big play gets the USA out of that jam. And Japan does not score. We go to the bottom of the 5th inning. It's 6-1 here in the gold medal game. This is the 17th Women's Softball World Cup live on GameTime.sport.
Coming segunda base for Japan, the second baseman for Team Japan is number 10, Hitomi Kawabata.
Pictured in your screen is Japanese softball legend Yukiko Ueno, 41 years old, and she was the hero of the 2020 Olympics. She's been a hero in Japan since she started her career, and the incredible right-hander is going to come in relief of Miyu Goto, and the first pitch is popped into left field and caught by Ayana Nakagawa off the bat of Hannah Flippin for out number 1. Miyu Goto went 4 innings and worked her way through this game, only allowing the 1 run on 5 hits. And Flippin, after making the first out, is going to return, and now Jessie Warren, the number 3 hitter, steps up. Yukiko Ueno deals a strike. Ueno has thrown 6 2/3 innings, allowed only 4 hits, 9 strikeouts, nothing else. Jessie Warren, 2 for 2 in this game, hit the ball very hard her last time. There's a little blooper off the hands, caught by the first baseman Shimoyama for out number 2. USA are having a real tough time squaring up the ball against both Goto, and now it looks like Ueno. Look at that pitch running in on the hands of Warren. And now Deja Mulipola. Mulipola has walked and reached on a fielder's choice, and Ueno wastes no time throwing strikes. Yukiko Ueno did not play in the World Games in 2022. But as you may have heard before, there's a swing and a miss. She was there in 2020 in the gold medal game through 6 innings. She actually pitched innings 1 through 5 in that game. Miyu Goto pitched the 6th, and then Ueno came in to close out her own game. And a swing and a miss. She makes quick work of the USA here in the 5th. Nothing across the board. Japan inching ever so slightly closer to that gold medal. We go to the 6th inning. It is Japan 6, USA 1 in the 17th Women's Softball World Cup live on GameTime.sport. We are back, and it is the top of the 6th inning. Ali Carta is going to deal with 9, 1 and 2. Urara Fujimoto, Ayana Nakagawa, and Kyoko Ishikawa. Japan has gone 1, 2, 3 exactly once in this game, and that was in the 1st inning. Carta misses the outside corner with her pitch, and it is 1 ball, no strikes. Fujimoto is 0 for 1 in this game. She grounded out, 1 for 2, and then she singled to drive home a run. That's an off-speed pitch too high from Carta. 2 balls and no strikes. Fujimoto singled in the 4th inning. It was her 2-out hit that brought home Yume Kiriishi. That made it 3-1 at the time. And then Japan went on to play a total of 4 runs in that inning and deflate the hopes, so far at least, of USA in this game. Ali Carta behind 3-0. And there's a strike, 3-1. USA had a chance to take a big lead right away in this game. After Kelly Maxwell burned through the order in the top of the 1st, The USA scored a run in the bottom half and had the bases loaded and 1 out. Miyu Goto was on the ropes. That's ball 4 outside. But Miyu Goto was able to retire Jocelyn Alo on a little pop fly to second and then struck out Maya Brady. And then outside of runners on second and third in the 3rd inning, USA has not threatened since. But also that situation with runners on second and third, USA had with less than 2 outs. There's a pop fly, shallow left field. Bates is out. She makes the catch as she falls to a knee. She had to go a long way to get that one as Lorenz was coming in. It was almost another case of Japan just finding the hole, just getting enough. Nakagawa pops out. She had been 2 for 3 prior to that. And now Kyoko Ishikawa. Kyoko Ishikawa, if Japan were to win the gold, she would be a candidate for most valuable player. And time is called. Ishikawa got a base hit to drive home run in that fateful 4th inning. And there's a strike on the outside corner. Mulipola pops out of the crouch just in case Fujimoto thought about running. Garcia way off the bag at first, trying to plug the hole on the right side. 0-1. There's a ground ball. It gets through Carta, and everybody's going to be safe. And now Flippin nearly made a mistake by whirling and flipping to Bates, who she thought was maybe on the 3rd base side of the bag. Bates had crossed over to the other side, so USA maybe some visible nerves.
Well, just trying to make something happen, and that's kind of right in their head a little bit. They're forced to find outs, and again, a little communication, because that ball's kind of in a dead zone there, but just they need to settle down, sit back, and just let Carta do the work and get ground balls and get themselves out that way.
Tsukamoto now, who has doubled and singled and lined to short. And Carta nails the outside corner. Japan has 10 hits in this game, 6 runs. USA 1 run, 5 hits, and 2 errors. That's a very good changeup, missed low, but that's a really effective pitch. Carta has an incredible delivery. That pitch looked like it was being served on a dinner plate, but it comes in a lot slower than the hitter expects. That one's outside, 2-1. Fujimoto walked. She is at second base. Ishikawa singled. There's a ground ball. That one's tapped foul past Warren down the 3rd base line. Everybody goes back. You know, usually when you think of intimidating hitters, you think of hitters that drive the ball, hit it with huge exit velocity. And sure, Japan can do that, but boy, the USA, they have these little ground balls and little bloops to fear in this game, because Japan is showing their absolute mastery of bat control. Except in that case, as Tsukamoto goes chasing and Ali Carta gets a break. Well, out number 2.
And that plays into the frustration on Team USA, and Ali Carta, I think, thrives off frustration and being in those tense situations. But again, yeah, you're not getting beat by the big balls right now from Team Japan.
And so now Eri Shimoyama, 1 out of 3, and Carta hits the inside corner. And a swing and a miss. That's that Ali Carta off-speed pitch. And you see Shimoyama spinning out of the box.
Well, and it's deceiving because we talk about the release point, and Carter's release point every time is the same. So she doesn't have any tells, and the ball's spinning exactly the same out of her hand and not able to time it up.
Mulipola with an excellent block on that one that was down and in. And Fujimoto maybe got a quarter of the way to 3rd on that, and Mulipola just glared her back to the bag. 2-1 on Shimoyama. And now 3-1 as that pitch just missed the outside corner. Japan showing all of their skill sets in this game. The selectivity, their defense, their base running acuity. And that one is down and in. And so now the count is full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. There you see the location. That one is hit hard on the line. It's foul past Warren. And a sigh of relief for the USA on that one. In case you're wondering, there is no run rule in the medal games. So no matter what the score, it's going to be a full 7 innings. We're in the top of the 6th. 6-1, Japan leading. This is a day that's seen so many momentum swings. This game has seen 2 momentum swings. There's a swing and a miss. Ali Carta strikes out the final 2 hitters of the inning. And a good job, and now it's Carta's turn. After Japan had runners on first and third with only 1 out, Ali Carta comes up big. And let's see if the USA can turn that around and use that as a building block to score some runs and get back in this one. Right now, Japan is leading USA 6. Welcome back to the bottom of the 6th inning. Japan leading 6-1 over the USA. Yukiko Ueno is out there, and she's going to deal with 5, 6, and 7. Amanda Lorenz is up there and takes a ball. It'll be Lorenz and then Jocelyn Allo, and Savannah Jaquish is in the lineup when she went back and played first base. That one is upstairs. 2 balls and no strikes. USA have been kicking themselves for leaving 3 on in the first and 2 in the third. They also had a base runner last inning with 2 outs. They had a 1-0 lead in the early going, but now Ueno falls behind 3 balls and no strikes. That one's right through there. Ueno does not walk many people. We saw her come in the game versus the Netherlands after Netherlands had taken a lead, and she came in and shut that thing down, allowing Japan a chance to come back and win. Of course, Japan had to come back and win several of their games, as now the USA, for the first time since the third, has a leadoff base runner. Amanda Lorenz will step up on first base, rather, and Savannah Jaquish, who came into the game and played first base last inning. She will get her first at bat in this game. She also caught 1 inning and then was removed and has re-entered. First pitch is a strike called from Ueno. Jaquish in the tournament, 2 hits and 6 at-bats. That one's hit sharply fouled on the first base line. And she's quickly in the hole, 0-2. And that ball went into the right field corner, where it was retrieved by Urara Fujimoto. She flips it back into Shimoyama, who flips it to Reika Utsugi. 0-2 from Ueno to Savannah Jaquish. Lorenz off first base, nobody out. That one just missed inside. That's the pitch that Ueno throws that just drops off the table.
Just the way it comes off her hand, you can tell, of course not up to bat, but the snap from her wrist just gets it to sail down.
And the Next one, there's a slow roller towards short Ishikawa. Over to Suto for one on the Shimoyama for a 6-4-3 double play, and there are 2 away. It's so tough to hit in the first place, and then weak contact, but quickly turns. And as I mentioned, Japan showing off all of their skill sets in this game. That was a tailor-made double play, if ever there is such a thing. And so now 2 down for Maya Brady. The leadoff base runner is immediately erased. Brady 0 for 2. And Brady hits one in the air to left field. Coming on is Nakagawa to put it away. And the inning is over. Japan 3 defensive outs away from the gold medal. They lead this one 6-1. It's the 17th Women's Softball World Cup live on GameTime.sport.
After 6 innings of play, Japan leads 6-1.
Top of the 7th inning here in Castellanos de Estrada. Tim Collins and Amanda Fama with you. Hope you're enjoying your day wherever you may be. Japan leading this one over the USA 6-1. USA with the first inning run, but Japan answered with 2 in the second and 4 in the fourth. And Yui Sakamoto as everybody waiting for the stadium music to stop playing, and now that's the case. Ali Carter going to work against 5, 6, and 7. Yui Sakamoto, Shiho Suto, and Ayana Karoji. Sakamoto has singled twice and flied out. And that one is outside for a ball. Every starter in the lineup for Japan has a base hit in this game. They have 11 total. And Sakamoto looks at a strike on the outside corner. Outside 2-2. Sakamoto got things started in the second inning. She hit the base hit off of Kelly Maxwell that scored Shimoyama. Shimoyama was going to stop at third base, but the ball bounced away from Haley McClenny in center field for an error. And that was the first Japan run. Then Sakamoto came around to score the second run. And Japan has not looked back. There's a big bouncer to short. Bates up with it, throws to first in time with Jake Bush on the back end. And the play goes 6-3. There's 1 away. For the USA, in the bottom of the 7th inning, they will send 8, 9, and 1 to the plate against Yukiko Ueno.
Number 10, Hitomi Kawabata.
And now Hitomi Kawabata, who came in for Shiho Suto. This is her first at bat. She takes a ball down low. And now fouls that one off. It is 1 ball and 1 strike. The sellout crowd rather muted, as I believe there's a heavy contingency that's here to root on the USA. But nevertheless, they've seen some wonderful softball. That pitch is down and away, 2-1. And for the fans in Japan, they are definitely feeling ecstatic. They have to like their chances with Ueno in the circle. And that pitch is down and away. We talked all week about someday somebody's going to make one of those insane comebacks. We haven't seen so many, but boy, earlier today we saw one of the great comebacks in Softball World Cup history. There's a swing and a miss. As this World Cup started with 18 teams 1 year ago across 3 countries in Europe. It's the first time it was ever hosted in Italy. The pitch is outside. It's the first time they ever spread it across 3 countries and split it into groups. 8 teams that were here in Castellones de Estrada battled it out all week. And of course, this one not over yet. That pitch is down and away. Everything is settled except for the top 2 spots, obviously, but Canada winning bronze earlier today as Kawabata draws the walk. Netherlands finishing 4th. They came oh so close to becoming the first European team ever to win a bronze medal or to win a medal at all. China, who came back from being in a very poor position, they were able to rise up to 5th place as the bunt is shown by Kuroji. It's a ball. China up from 10th in 2018, so they've got to feel very good about their situation. Puerto Rico finished 6th. That's down 1 spot from 2022. Australia finished in 7th place. There's a good bunt. Carter fields it, throws to first in time as Kawabata took a big turn at second base but held on there. So Kuroji is out on the sacrifice. Play goes 1-4, 2 down. And then Italy, playing in so many dramatic games and having the home crowd. They played for thousands of fans this week, all 5 games with over at least 1,000, several over 2,000. And they will have to settle for 8th place. They were 7th in 2022 and 2018. But they sure thrilled the home fans with a couple of home runs against China in their opening game. And we saw a lot of talent from a lot of countries. That pitch is inside for a ball, 2-0. And sometimes when you get to the end of a tournament like this, there's a bit of a lull where you realize that this whole week has been a grind for all the players. We saw, think about Shai Inan pitching, throwing over 400 pitches for China, pitching 10 innings in one game and then pitching 9 innings the next day. And she kind of represents a lot of people who have been working in this. That pitch is fouled away. The stands.
But right, going back to what we've seen, the type of softball we've seen play, the type of games we've seen. I don't know really if I've been a part of so many exciting games, nail biters, comebacks and stuff like that. Exactly what you want in a World Cup. And even tonight's game exciting because it's Team USA and Japan. Japan pulling ahead. But still, the type of softball that we've seen here is absolutely what we wanted to see. And great softball. It shows you where softball's at, and it's at an extremely high level right now.
Yume Kiraishi with a full count. And a pop-up on the right side of the infield. Hannah Flippen makes the catch, and the inning is over. And the USA is going to come to bat, trailing by 5 runs. Japan 3 defensive outs away from winning the gold at the 17th Women's Softball World Cup. We'll be right back on GameTime.Sport.
One more time.
We go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Japan leading USA 6-1. And Yukiko Ueno, born July 22nd, 1982. She's going to turn 42 in 2 days. Is in the circle, 3 outs away from another gold medal for Japan. She's going to face Tiara Jennings. Pinch hitting for Rachel Garcia. And then the number 9 spot, Haley McClenny. And then the top of the order, Nicole Bates. Ueno, who threw the first perfect game in Olympic history in 2004, is trying to add to her legend in the history of international softball. Not just in Japan, but worldwide. Jennings takes a strike, and the count 2 balls and 1 strike. Ueno, when she was 26th at the 2008 Olympics, threw 413 pitches in 3 full games over 2 days, including a game against the U.S., pitching while having a blister on her finger the whole time. In 2018, she threw a complete game shutout to defeat Canada in the bronze medal game, and then later that same day pitched all 10 innings in a game that the U.S. won on a walk-off. She beat the USA in 2020 in that gold medal game, throwing 6 innings. I mentioned she pitched the first 5 and then finished it out after Goto. And today Goto started, but now it's Ueno in the circle at the end. Jennings with a ground ball to the right side. Kawabata with the play to first base, and the U.S. is down to their final 2 outs. And Haley McClaney is going to step up to the plate.
Now batting for Team USA, number 8, Haley
It all started
McClaney.
with a completely different feel. USA and Japan, you always expect a close game. And both teams all week have played very tough. This pitch is outside. But we've talked about it's a whole season in 1 week. And, you know, when you have the luxury of a long season, you can go through a slump. You can have a bad day. I mean, this is a sport where having a bad day is kind of part of the gig. You just hope it's not going to happen for the USA from their point of view in a game like this. But sometimes that's how it goes.
Well, yeah, Tim, like you said, too, it's been such a tough tournament playing the world's best. But again, when you get to that championship game, when you know you're playing Japan, are you going to be able to step up? And they certainly tried. But again, Team Japan has been perfect tonight. And if USA wanted to compete, they just had to bring a little more.
2 balls and a strike. McClaney trying to get something going. That one's high. Ueno, since she came in the game, has not allowed a hit. She's only walked 1. She's also only struck out 1, but it's been a lot of weak contact. And the 1 walk was also erased on the 6-4-3 double play. That's another walk, so McClaney able to get aboard. And so now the top of the order as Nicole Bates will step up to the plate. 0 for 3 in the game. The USA, they had 5 hits, and all of that was in the first 3 innings. They have not had a hit since Jessie Warren hit that rocket in the 3rd inning. And in fact, in that inning, they had 2nd and 3rd and only 1 out.
And that's I think where Team USA, I don't want to say went downhill, but it is. That was their prime opportunity to score. You're not going to get those opportunities too often playing Japan. And if they didn't come up with something as they didn't, they're ending up in this situation.
There's a tapper to the left side. Ishikawa gloves, and that's a fantastic play thrown on the run to get out number 2. Moving to second base, Haley McClaney. Bates is out 6-3. There are 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th inning. And Yukiko Ueno and Japan are 1 out away from winning the gold medal here at the 17th Women's Softball World Cup. Hannah Flippen at the plate. She is 2 for 3. She's got 2 of the 5 hits. That pitch is high.
Well, Hannah definitely being a player that I think led USA offensively with a few others, but no doubt set the tone for those games and showed other teams what it's going to take to beat USA. And Hannah, again, doing well getting on this game, but no one able to bring her in. And that's kind of the theme, is even if Hannah's on, who can bring her in? And that's where Team USA has struggled.
Well, 2-0. Ueno has walked the 2 hitters. USA still needs some base runners. That one's outside. 3-0. Flippen will be taking here.
Well, and good eye, too. As eager as you are in this situation, you want to hit, you want to swing. So good job taking that pitch slightly outside. Now 3-0. Huge, because no one's been in this situation. So give your team another opportunity. Take a pitch.
And she takes ball 4. Suddenly, a small glimmer of hope. As Jessie Warren, I told you Warren is the last player for USA to get a base hit. Well, she has swung the bat very well. She has hit 2 very hard singles.
Now batting for
2 for 3.
Jessie Warren.
McClaney on second, Flippin on first, 2 outs. And that one's a strike on the inside corner. To Jessie Warren. And a foul. 0-2. And now you hear the screams from the Japanese dugout and the fans as Yui Yamamoto retrieves that foul ball, rubs it up, and tosses it back to Yukiko Ueno. 1 strike away for Japan. And here it comes. That's a drive to left field down the line. It's foul. It was a breaking pitch, and Warren was all over it. So we'll do it again. McClaney, the runner at second base. Flippin is at first. No balls and 2 strikes on Jessie Warren. That one's down and in. Almost looked like Kiriishi was crossed up a little bit by that pitch. As she kind of stabbed at it, you see Ueno with a smile on her face. Shiho Suto looking on. Everyone looking on intently from all sides. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 on the pitch. Another tapper will do it again.
Well, Warren's not going to go down easy. You see her drive that ball down the left field line earlier. She can potentially put the ball over the fence, and that's why, again, this is USA, can change the game in 1 swing. But again, kind of shortening up, getting Jan, fouling it off, keeping yourself alive.
Keeping the tournament alive. It'll be another 1-2 pitch from Ueno to Jessie Warren. Here it comes. Off speed, check swing. They appeal. She did not go. And you can check your heart rate. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And again, she fights it off. That's the 4th foul ball, and then that 1 close pitch that she took and checked. That is a tough at bat. You see her take a deep breath. There's no substitute. There's no way to practice this moment. This is it. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Again. And we'll do it again.
Kind of the theme of the entire Women's Softball World Cup. Not giving up, battling. And like you said, check your heart rate. Everyone's adrenaline is pumping. But Warren, in the box, doesn't look nervous. Looks like she's done this before and doing a great job at this at-bat.
And the 2-2 coming from Yukiko Ueno is upstairs for ball 3. And now, with each successive pitch in this battle, you're starting to hear more noise coming from the USA fans. 3 balls and 2 strikes to Jessie Warren. Runners on first and second with 2 outs. A little looper off the glove of Ueno. Charging Kawabata. The throw to first is in time, and Japan has won the gold medal. Hitomi Kawabata with a bang play. She got the ball after it deflected off the glove of Yukiko Ueno, and Ueno has done it again. Japan, that's their 6th gold medal, including 2 Olympics and now 4 Women's Softball World Cup championships. And it's fitting that it was an infield blooper and a fantastic play by the Japanese defense to close out this game.
Really no other way, as you said, so fitting for a ball off Ueno's glove, and what a difficult play every infielder wants. No other way to end this, but Japan doing a great job. They came in having to know what to do exactly. They kept Team USA handcuffed up to bat. Their pitchers were lights out, and they used their speed. They utilizes their strengths, and they came out with a win, and they absolutely deserved the title of world champion. They came in strong.
Well, as is customary at the end of these tournaments, the teams are shaking hands and congratulating one another. These are two teams, obviously, it's kind of a rivalry, but it's a very